Once there was a doctor with legendary talents. He was so confident in his abilities that he made a proclamation. If I can't fix your illness, I will give you $1 million. One young entrepreneur decided to take him up on this opportunity. He thought to himself, I can totally trick him and make $1 million. So he goes to the doctor's office. Doctor, it's terrible. I can't taste anything. Don't you worry, my friend. Don't worry at all. I will fix this issue. Nurse, bring vial number 23. Here, drink this. What is that? That's disgusting. Hooray, I fixed your issue. You can taste again. But this young entrepreneur, he wouldn't give up. He was determined. He decided to come back with a new plan the next day. Doctor, it's terrible. I can't remember anything. Don't you worry, my friend. Don't worry at all. I can fix this. Nurse, bring vial number 23. Did you just say vial number 23? Yes, vial number 23. There is no way I'm taking that again. Mr. Toastmaster.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another meeting of Tiger Tails Toastmasters. We're here tonight for the 3 things that we're here every night that we're here for a Toastmasters meeting for. That was the most awkward sentence ever. We're here, 3 things. We're here for prepared speeches. We're here for table topics, which is an impromptu speaking opportunity where you get a chance to get up and think on your feet. And we're here for evaluations, getting feedback about those prepared speeches that were given. It's our meeting structure. And each time we get together, we've got folks that are giving us feedback, not just our evaluators, but we have what we call functionaries. It's an old-fashioned word for folks who do stuff. We have folks who do stuff, and our odd counter for tonight is Tet Kian. Can you tell us what you'll be doing tonight?
Hi everyone, my name is Tet, so today I'm going to be your art counter. So I'm going to be counting the words that you say, like so, or any filler word that you might use.
Thank you, Tet. Our grammarian for the evening is none other than my wife, Deborah Turner.
I'm your grammarian. My role is to keep an ear out for any interesting uses of words or sentences. So phrases, I'll be looking for that and keeping record of it, kind of just reviewing it at the end. I'm also going to introduce the word of the day, which is plaintive, which means to sound sad and mournful. So it was a very plaintive cry from the sorrowful widow. Is an example of the word.
And keeping us on time for tonight is Lauren. Can you tell us what you'll be doing tonight?
I am your timer for tonight, so I'll be making sure that you're within the time limit for your speeches and your table topics. And I have these 3 indicator cards. For the prepared speeches, each one will be 5 to 7 minutes. So at 5 minutes, I will show this 5-minute indicator. At 6 minutes, I will show the 6-minute indicator. And at 7 minutes, you'll see the last card, and you'll have 30 seconds to wrap up.
So they each have jobs, and I also have a job too. I'm your Toastmaster for tonight. I'm going to help things run smoothly and hopefully stay out of the way as much as possible. So we'll be introducing our 3 prepared speakers for tonight. Our first speaker is going to be Victor Bresu. And his evaluator will be Isaac. Isaac, can you tell us a little bit about what Victor's project is tonight?
Victor is today working on project number 3, which is Get to the Point. And I'll be looking at his organization, also if he uses specific sentences to convey his message, and his confidence. And he asked me to specifically look at his poses and his eye contact. Thank you.
Now, if all of you have been following the news, you know that billionaire Elon Musk has raised some money for one of his companies by selling 20,000 flamethrowers to big fans of his. Now, I don't know whether or not our next speaker has a flamethrower, but I do know that he is a very big fan of Elon Musk, and he has gotten up here to passionately speak for the cause of futurism and exciting, crazy stuff that Elon Musk is all about. So I know that he's passionate, and I'm excited to hear his next speech, which is called Pesky Phone. Pesky Phone, Victor Bresu.
Oh, hi. Wow. Wait, I'm presenting? Wait, what? I'm presenting? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Imagine that you're texting on your phone. You're at a party and you're texting on your phone, and you miss that opportunity to meet that girl and get her phone number. Now imagine that you're at a job party and you're texting on your phone. You miss that opportunity to talk with your manager and potentially get a raise. Imagine that you're in a classroom and you walk into the classroom and you sit down and you start texting at your phone. And you miss that opportunity to talk with your fellow neighbor and potentially start a friendship. Imagine that you're at a restaurant with your family and you're texting on your phone. And you miss that opportunity to talk with your family and figure out what's going on in their day today. This phone commands our attention. We are addicted to this phone. Similar to how a mouse behaves when it sees a treat. We constantly check our phone at the slightest beep because the dopamine in this phone, because the dopamine trigger commands us to answer. Because of this fact, I've gotten into the habit of putting away this phone when I interact with people, ignoring this phone. This was not always the case. When I was younger, I used to go into an airplane and sit down, and I would ignore the people beside me. I would constantly be texting. The people next to me were invisible. I realized that I could make friendships by talking with these people. I could get to know their stories. I will share some of those examples of the people that I met. I met a Navy researcher working on submarines. I got to talk with her about her experience, what it was like to work for the Navy. I met a pilot for the United Airlines. I got to talk with him about his experience, what it was like to fly an airplane. Where did you go to school? I met a mechanical engineer who had 5 years of experience. I'm also a mechanical engineer. We got to share that bond. We got to talk about mechanical engineering and what tips he had for me, what things I needed to watch out for when I got into the real world. As many of you know, like Alex said, I'm a big Tesla fan. I admire Elon Musk. I was more than enthusiastic to tell him about Tesla and talk with him from a technical side about Tesla. I strongly believe that that company will be successful, and I was able to convey my message to him. I met a woman who was on the U.S. national team for border cross. Border cross is a snowboarding race competition. It's a sport. It is a Olympic winter sport. She was 4th in the country for this sport. This year, they're going to take 3 people to the Olympics. She's 4th. She has a chance to be bumped up into 3rd and go to the Olympics. I got to talk to this person. I got to introduce myself to her, learn a better experience, how she got into this sport, and learn what that experience is like. Lastly, last semester, I walked into Toastmasters for my very first meeting, and I sat down in a chair. And I introduced myself to Brendan with the beard, as many of you know. That introduction led into a conversation. That conversation led into a friendship. And that friendship turned into a mentorship. And that mentorship turned into a lifelong friend. None of these experiences, especially this one, would have ever happened if I was texting on my phone. None of them would have ever happened. I would have never met these incredible people. So tonight, everybody in this room has the opportunity to meet a lifelong friend instead of texting on your phone. So I challenge you tonight to meet somebody new, whether that may be a fellow Toastmaster or a welcomed guest. Thank you.
Let's take a minute after that excellent speech to write some feedback for Victor. Our next speaker for tonight will be Gia, and her evaluator will be Brendan Francis. Brendan, can you tell us a little bit about Gia's project?
As Alex said, I'm Brendan Francis, also known as Brendan with a beard. Gia will be doing her 4th project tonight, which is how to say it. A lot of times, to convey your message properly, to get your point across, it doesn't involve fluffy, superfluous words. This is a speech where she will use simple, concise words, sentences, to convey her point, to get her message across. So I'm excited to see what she has to bring for us tonight.
For those of you who've been around Tiger Tales for any length of time, you've seen Gia's speeches and the range that she's been able to accomplish. That she's gone from really informative speeches to deeply personal speeches about her own story. And that range of speaking makes her a really great speaker, and I'm really interested to hear what she has to say tonight about her speech 15 minutes early. So hard. Julia.
Ms. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Were you here on our first Tiger Tales Toastmasters meeting this semester? Raise your hands, please. All right, great. So most of you are here. You probably know my 15 minutes early arrival plan, right? For those of you who don't know, I plan to arrive 15 minutes early for my appointment this year. Let me tell you a plaintive story about what happened. Last week, we had our first Tiger Tales Toastmasters board meeting. Before last week, our president, Mr. Pradar, already sent out the emails, and I added the appointment on my calendar. The meeting is supposed to begin at 3. At 1 to 2, I had a meeting with my advisor, which then I finally felt relieved after the meeting. So I had a delightful lunch, and I finished it by 2:30. This is not until, well, I still have a half hour until the meeting. And since the meeting location is on campus, it won't take me not long to get there. I should do something to fill the gap. Plus, even if I arrive 15 minutes early, I'll just sit there waiting, which is boring. I won't waste my time because I'm sure I'll think about something. When I made this 15 minutes early arrival plan, I knew I would wait. I appreciate the time waiting because I'll use the time to prepare. But still, I have 15 minutes until 2:45. I surrendered the temptation. I can't help myself opening up a programming window and start typing some code. This is left from yesterday, and it's a short program. It's easy. It won't take long. I'm sure I'll finish it within 15 minutes, and I'll still arrive there 15 minutes early. Yay! As soon as I started typing the first line, oh no, it seems I need to install a package. Easy. It usually won't take a minute to do it. Oh no, I can't install it because it's not available. No worries. Google is smart. He knows everything. Time flies. It's already 20 minutes to 3. No way. I only have 5 minutes left. That's okay. Calm down. It won't take you 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes to go to the library. I open up the calendar, try to confirm the meeting location is still at the library as last semester. Wait, it's changed. It's at the University Service Center. What the hell is this University Service Center? Where is it? Oh, I found it. It's actually near to my department building. Great. Oh, wait a second. I received 4 updated emails about the meeting. And all of them are within 1 minute of time difference with each other. 2 of them said, we'll be meeting at the library. The other 2 said, we're meeting at the University Service Center. Considering the internet delay, I can't decide where to go. Immediately, I texted Mr. President, staring at my phone, hoping he can reply to me as soon as possible. 7 minutes later, no reply. Then I immediately emailed all the board members asking about the meeting location, which makes me feel quite embarrassed. But still, I hope one of them can see the email and reply to me sooner. 8 minutes later, I got one reply telling me that we're meeting at the library. That was 3 minutes to 3 o'clock. At this point, I was so disappointed about myself. I felt so bad. I couldn't believe what just happened. I gave up. I didn't even try at the last several minutes to make myself less late. Instead, I was late for 5 minutes. The reason I set up this 15-minute early arrival plan is to remind myself of expecting the unexpected. I usually don't have a problem estimating the time. Instead, I need a lot of improvement for expecting the unexpected, just as expecting the first Tiger Tales Toastmasters board meeting can change its location in the new semester. As George Xiang says, if history repeats itself and the unexpected always happens, how incapable must men be of learning from experience? Not only about time management, but also I should always expect the unexpected things that happen in life. Plus, I won't tell you how amazing it feels to be 15 minutes earlier. Ms. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Gia, for making Xavier and I feel bad for walking in right on time. Go ahead and take a minute to write some feedback for Gia in her speech. Our next speaker is Madhav Galit, and his evaluator will be Jose. Okay.
Hello, everybody. One of the great congratulations! Oh my God. One of the things that I really love about Madhav is that he's my mentee, so that means that I can pick on him on everything right now. He's gonna do his 9th speech, although it's his 7th, And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to look for his confidence, eye contact, lows and pauses. That's his personal traits. And for the speech itself, I'm going to see it's about persuasion, how good he is on transmitting and persuading the audience according to his message. So I've known Madhav for a really long time, and one of the things that characterizes him very well is how hard he works to improve himself. And I would love to see what he has built up on so far with all of his speeches.
Those of you who were here last semester got to see Madhav at his best with a humorous speech, joking about his stupid brain and how it made him jump off a roof. It's my understanding that he's got something a little different for us, which is exciting for today. He's going to stretch himself, giving this speech called Study Well and Study Hard. Study well and study hard, Madhav Gowdy.
Around the world, every parent strives really hard to provide the best education to their children, including my parents. My father always says, study well and study hard. In the process of providing me a better education, he forced me to join a boarding school so that I get to spend all my time studying. But studying hard have its ill effects. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members, and distinguished guests. Today, I'm going to share with you my experience in a boarding school. 10 years ago, I was in my 10th grade. I passed my 10th with more than expected results. I was so happy. I started living my dream. Go to bed at 9, waking up at 8, playing with my little brother in the streets, eating lots of food, especially spicy, and more importantly, staying and living with my parents. But my parents awarded me by joining me in a boarding school. I was reluctant at first, but they convinced me. 1 month later, the time has arrived, and my whole family accompanied me to my new home. The first sight of my boarding school was when I was unloading my bags from the car. I saw a very tall gate, 15 feet high, and a well-built 6-foot-tall man with a big mustache guarding it. I carried my bags and I went past the gate and the person. I saw 3 big buildings. They gave me accommodation in one of those. I went to my room, opened the door. I found it pathetic, gloomy, and outnumbered, overcrowded. The walls are having visible big marks, big cracks on the walls, and the paint was mostly worn off. There's only one window, and there's not enough light and air coming in. There are 10 people who are sharing that room apart from me, and the beds are lined up right next to each other, and there's just enough space so that a person can walk. Looking at it, I felt I'm in a slum. Unpacking my things, my father came to me and said, "Study well and study hard." He hugged me and he left. Similarly, my mother and brother. I was all alone and I don't know anyone there. I felt very lonely. I started crying. I didn't sleep on that day because I was surrounded by people who are not my parents. At 3 in the midnight, I somehow managed to sleep. At 5 in the morning, a person stormed into the door and banged the door with an iron rod. Pack, pack, pack! And he started shouting, "Wake up! Wake up! It's 5! Listening to that sounds, my heart skipped a couple of beats and it started pounding. I was awake. I woke up. I stood in line for 30 minutes just to brush my teeth because there's only one washroom for 11 people. I found out that classes starts at 6 o'clock in the morning and I hurried to the class. Professor came in and started explaining Newton's laws, and he wrote all the complex formulas. I'm not able to understand it. Classes went on until 2 in the afternoon. Subjects changed, professors changed, but my capability of understanding didn't change. I was not able to understand it. At 3 o'clock, my study hours started. I was not able to study, but I was forced to study. It went on until 11 o'clock in the night. This is how I spent 2 years of my life. My confidence diminished, my grades plunged, and my health deteriorated. I cried each and every day of my life, which I spent there. Not knowing anyone, not having any friends where I can share my heart or my feelings with, not able to explain that to my parents because they would feel bad, and not able to accustom well to the circumstances. I felt I'm a lab rat doing exactly what I was supposed to do. To this day, I still remember what my father said, "Study well and study hard." I want to end this speech with one question. Are studies so important than personal feelings and emotional bondings? Mr. Toastmaster.
Take a minute to write some feedback for Madhav in his speech.